Hey everybody, it's Eric back with episode 4 of Ahsoka. Now I gotta tell you, the first 7 minutes or so of this episode are pretty bad, and we'll talk about it. And then I gotta say, after the first 7 minutes and the action starts, I was getting into this episode. This could be my favorite episode. Imagine that. Alright, episode 4 of Ahsoka is called The Fallen Jedi, and I can only assume they're talking about Ray Stevenson, who absolutely steals the show here. He's amazing, he's one of the best bad guy Force users. He doesn't think he's a bad guy, but I guess he's a bad guy, because he's wearing black, and his saber's red, right? Isn't it red? Yeah, so you're a bad guy. But he's one of the best bad guys that we ever got. He's really, really good. Steals the show. Okay, however, the first 7 minutes of this show, it just feels like deleted scenes. You know, you get your favorite movie on 4K or Blu-ray or DVD or 8-track or whatever the hell you watch your movies on, and you see on the back of the box, ooh, deleted scenes included, and you're getting all excited because you think they're going to be good. You think they're going to make the movie better, and then you watch them and you go, yeah, it's better they weren't in the movie. You know, they're just off, they're awkward, the pace is just not right. You know, sometimes your characters are just staring at each other, but you get to listen to the cool music. You know, anyway, it felt like deleted scenes. And then we cut to our bad guys. And again, Ray Stevenson is absolutely amazing. And he puts more acting prowess into saying one word than Ewan McGregor's wife has put in so far in the entire series. All right, so at one point, the witch lady asks Darth Stevenson, "Is that fear in your voice?" And Ray Stevenson just says, "Experience." And I can't even do it. I can't do what he did because I'm not a paid actor. But with one word, experience, he just it's just a mic drop. He's like, that's acting. One word. How do you like that? All right, and the show finally picks up with Dr. Hung or Wang or whatever his name is. He's fixing the ghost, and he is attacked by another robot. And we got two robots going at it. It's Rock'em Sock'em robots. And I got to say, up to that point, that was probably the best fight we got in the show. It was good. And then Ahsoka and Sabine, they come out and they fight some goons. Sabine, I don't know. She's kind of weak. I thought she was tougher in the Rebels cartoon by the end, but oh well. They take on some goons pretty quickly. And then we cut to the Rebel fleet where Hera is, major girl boss, major Disney princess, and she's going to disobey orders, and she's going to take the Ghost and 5 X-Wings and go help out our heroes. The little chubby Asian guy from The Mandalorian, that pilot, is joining her. I'm thinking, where is Zeb? And I'm also thinking, I'm getting a bad feeling about this. There's a HasLab for the Ghost going on right now, and shortly after the Razor Crest had its HasLab, they destroyed the Razor Crest. So I'm thinking, Ghost, all those people that pre-ordered the Ghost are getting a little nervous. Also, Hera is a terrible parent because she's bringing along her 9-year-old son to go fight terrorists. It's not good parenting. Next up, our evil witch is tickling the ball and doing some mumbo-jumbo, and Ahsoka and Sabine are running cross-country where they're going to run into some bad guys. All right, so Dr. Hung did tell Ahsoka and Sabine, don't split up, whatever you do. You are better together. But what are our heroes going to do? Well, they're going to split up. All right, so Ahsoka and Sabine, they run into Darth Snake Eyes and Darth Hottie. And Ahsoka just lets Sabine give into her anger and go after Darth Hottie. And I was thinking, that's not very Jedi-ish, right? I mean, what's up with that? I know Ahsoka's a gray Jedi. Well, she might be a crappy Jedi, we're finding out. I don't know. All right, and Ahsoka fights Darth Snake Eyes, and these fights are better. I don't know why. There's something about them is better. They feel more real, and I'm going to use the word visceral again. I'm going to use that word a lot. I don't know even if I'm using it correctly, but there's something about these fights. I was really loving the fights, and just when they were getting good, the show cuts away to the witch and the star map. And I'm like, why am I looking at this? And then it's going to go back to Ahsoka fighting Snake Eyes, and Sabine using her lightsaber now on Darth Hottie. And Darth Snake Eyes is spinning that Inquisitor lightsaber that I hate with a passion, and he's spinning it so fast I thought he was going to take off like they did in the show. But in one perfect move, like a true samurai, Ahsoka strikes him down, and gas comes out of him, and he starts twitching like the Witch King of Angmar from Lord of the Rings, when he died. So, I mean, you know, it was a good fight. It was a good samurai fight. I thought it was pretty legit. And Sabine continues to fight Hottie. And again, things are getting really good. I'm getting, all right. And then they cut away back to the star map again. And they take me out of my enjoyment. Like, what are you doing? And Ahsoka now, though, is approaching the star map and Darth Stevenson. Darth Hottie, she's still fighting. I don't know. I don't know if you should leave Sabine with Darth Hottie, but that's the case. And Ray Stevenson is absolutely great in this scene, and I like how he's just calmly sitting there, and as Ahsoka approaches, you know, he starts going for the psychological warfare and starts bringing up her past, Anakin, and how she turned her back on the Jedi, trying to upset Ahsoka. And, like, it's just so good. Like, we're getting a little bit of Count Dooku here. I'm feeling a little bit of Juris Seboeth. I called him Juris Seboth when I was reading the book like 50 years ago. But, you know, the Clone to Jedi from the Heir to the Empire novels. I'm getting like a mix of those two. But Ray Stevenson is absolutely killing it as like a bad guy Sith. I love it. All right, and I really like this duel between Ahsoka and Darth Stevenson. I call him Darth Stevenson. I know he's not a Darth. I mean, we've got the Gray Jedi. Is he a Gray Sith? Is that what he is? I don't know. Maybe. Let me know in the comments what you think. But I like this duel. Okay, it takes its time to get going. And I've mentioned, you know, I've taken a little kendo. I know a little bit about this. And I like how, you know, they have their perfect guard. In fact, they show that sometimes, you know, perfect, you know, guard. And then they'll both tease the other, tempt the other with different things you can do. And there's different names for those things in kendo. And what you're doing is you're opening up your guard. You're inviting an attack because you're sacrificing your perfect form. And both of them are playing that game a little bit. And the show does take its time to show that. And I really did like that. That's pretty legit, to be honest. I mean, maybe lightsabers change it as opposed to like a bladed weapon. But okay, listen, they tried. And I think this is one of the better fights we've seen in Star Wars between Ahsoka and Darth Stevenson. Darth Stevenson throws a rock at her, not 1,000 rocks like Obi-Wan did, right? That looked ridiculous in the Obi-Wan show. Just one big heavy rock. That'll do the trick. And at one point, he throws Ahsoka somewhere. And yeah, it's getting good. It's getting personal. And then speaking about personal, we cut back to Sabine and Hottie, and those two ladies hate each other. And at one point, Sabine tries to force push Hottie and kind of gives her a slap. Oh, and she's just mad about that. But then Sabine uses her wrist rockets and disarms Hottie. And yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. Back to Ahsoka and Stevenson. There's a lot of taunting going on by Darth Stevenson. I like his taunting and his sassing. And Ahsoka does get to the ball and grabs the ball, and the ball starts to burn her hand. And I'm thinking, it's a map, right? I'm getting like, you know, I'm thinking about Tote from Raiders of the Lost Ark, right? Grabbing it and then burning it into his hand. And maybe Ahsoka's got the map on her hand now. I don't know. Is that a stretch? It's Lucasfilm. It's quite possible that is what's going to happen. They're going to scan her hand and like recreate the ball. I don't know. And go off and find Ezra. Who knows? But then we cut back to Hottie, who escapes by using, as Bane would say, theatricality. I didn't say that very good. But like a smoke bomb, like Batman tried to use in Bane in The Dark Knight Rises. Yeah. Was it The Dark Knight Rises? Yeah. Theatricality, smoke bomb, and then escapes. Never seen people use smoke bombs before in Star Wars, but okay. Again, these fights are very personal. Darth Hottie is going to return, and Ahsoka sees that and worries that Sabine has been killed. And Ahsoka, being not a true Jedi, but a gray Jedi, gives into her emotions and throws Darth Hottie into the rock wall. I was like, oh, she's getting, you know, whoa. It's not very Jedi-ish, I guess. And then Ray Stevenson gets upset and starts bringing the whoop ass on Ahsoka. Sabine does show up, and I can't remember, but Ahsoka gets thrown over the edge of the cliff. All right, so Sabine is left alone with Darth Stevenson. She's got the ball. The ball was like hot. Now it's cold. She's holding the cold ball. And Ray Stevenson is amazing here. He's using all his charm, and he's basically saying, hey, give me the ball. Join me. We can find Ezra together. You'll get exactly what you need, and I promise I'll keep you safe. Destroy the ball. You're not going to find Ezra. And the best villains are when they're written well and when they're when there's acting like this. I mean, they're so convincing. I was like, give him the ball. All right, he's convinced me. And these type of villains who believe that what they are doing is right, I mean, they're some of the best villains. So just really, really good stuff here. And Sabine gives him the ball. I thought it was kind of funny. Darth Hottie's still upset and then force choked her. And Darth Stevenson's like, no, Hottie, stop that. Can't do that. I promised I'd keep her safe. And unlike her master, I'm going to keep my word. And I'm like, whoa, throwing shade at Ahsoka. But just good stuff. Good writing, good acting, good directing. Then Hera shows up with the ghost. And wow, I'm starting to sweat. I'm starting to sweat for all of those backers on HasLab. The ghost shows up and the witch activates the hyperspace ring and is pulling a holdo maneuver at the ghost. I'm thinking, oh my God, 14,000 nerds are crying out in terror. No, don't destroy the ghost. We've just backed to HasLab. But I guess luckily, since it's a ring, I guess the ghost goes through the middle of the ring somehow. So it takes some damage, but it's not obliterated. So they dodged a bullet. All of you backers of the HasLab, that was a close one for sure. And by the way, Hera, that's, again, terrible parenting. Your son, your 9-year-old son's in the cockpit with you. All right, remember Ahsoka was like knocked off the cliff? Well, we go back to Ahsoka, and for a moment you think she's like laying on her back on the beach. No, that's not what's going on here at all. She is in the world between worlds. And I'm hoping they use the world between worlds to fix all the crappy J.J. Abrams Star Wars movies and Ruin Johnson. If you can use the world between worlds and like not make Han Solo a deadbeat dad and not make Luke Skywalker a loser, if they could do that, maybe I'd come back to Star Wars with all of my heart instead of a fraction of my heart like I am right now. Okay, I got off topic. Anyway, so Ahsoka woke up in the world between worlds and she's hearing Anakin. And I'm like, oh shit. I said, they're gonna have Hayden, aren't they? And the camera like moves, and it's a de-aged Hayden Christensen, looking like he did in Attack of the Clones. No, wait, no, Revenge of the Sith, with the longer hair. And what does he say? He says like, I didn't expect to see you so soon. And then we get some ominous music, and that's it. All right, so I got to tell you, I really liked this episode. Once it got going, it was pretty good. I mean, compared to all the other Star Wars TV we got, I think this ranks up there pretty high. And it really stopped at a very interesting point with the villains getting away, and our heroes need to figure out how to follow them. Probably, it's right there, the secret to that. But then Ahsoka in the world between worlds, and she's going to talk to Anakin Skywalker in the next episode. I mean, woo, I think there's a lot they have to talk about, and at least my imagination is running wild about all the opportunities here that, let's face it, Lucasfilm's going to drop the ball on, but it's nice to pretend and imagine, isn't it? Anyway, guys, leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought about this episode. Where's the next episode going to go? Let's talk about this. If you could hit that like button, that helps me out a little bit. And, if you're new here, please consider subscribing, because next week, my thumbnail. So I've got 3 Kathy Kennedys in my thumbnail this week, I think. Next week, the 4th Kathy Kennedy, it's pretty good. It's pretty good, I got to say. It's the best thumbnail yet. So everybody wants to check that out. Everybody, have a great day, a great week. Love talking Star Wars with you. I will see you soon. And as always, I will see you on the new